Hello, everyone. Welcome to yet another Brahmat YouTube video. Don't forget to hover your mouse over that little sunset image you see in the corner of every single video here on this channel. A little subscription box will pop up, and that really helps us out when you click that. Also, any thumbs up on any of our videos sure helps those analytics consider our YouTube channel as something that's relevant. So when people do those searches online for certain topics, they'll be finding our free YouTube channel. And we hope that you'll help us out in that regard by giving us those thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. Of course, I always appreciate all of your feedback that you've been sending us. Your comments and your support has been fantastic. Thank you so much for that. You really make my day, you guys. For reaching out to us, just simply go down into every single video has a description, and there's a link there. This is a bio link service. So when you click on that website, it will show you a page that lists all of the most relevant places that you can find us online, from our website to our blogs to social networking sites and so forth. And from there, you can reach out and connect with us and send your comments, your feedback, and your questions through those message centers there. And of course, our contact through our website as well. So hopefully you'll be able to take advantage of that for those of you who haven't already. Now, John from the UK has sent us a question that we're going to be addressing today. And he wants to know what it is like to work with a co-writer. So this is a really in-depth topic. Honestly, books have been written about this topic. We've written an entire chapter in our Purple Snowflake marketing book is about this particular topic. And it's a common question in interviews. So for an interview, an entire interview. So I'm going to try to answer the question really briefly with, with my dogs playing behind me. Do you hear them back there? This should be interesting. So what I suggest is that when you start out with another co-writer or a number of co-writers, you need to have the mindset of coming into this project as working as a team. So what that means is, how can I support you? That's what that means is. Each member should be thinking that in their head. So you're having a difficult day, you're having a hard time fitting something in your schedule, you maybe can't complete a project according to the agreed time frame. What can I do that can ease your journey? What can I do to help you in this regard? Also, when we're starting a project like this, we need to schedule regular meetings through a service like Zoom or Face or Skype or in person if you're located close enough. So you want to have those brainstorming sessions. For Dave and I, we have regular meetings sometimes, whenever we need to have one, but often at least monthly, if not bi-weekly, we'll have a gathering where we sit down and talk about what's happening with the business, who's doing what, why they haven't accomplished what they were going to accomplish, celebrating what was accomplished, discussing ways we can help each other, and making a plan for the next few days, at least, as to where we're heading, what direction that we're heading. Now, in some of these sessions, we're going to want to talk in the very beginning of creating a book. We want to make sure that we talk before we start writing. We want to talk about the actual business side of being in this collaborative project together. So this means, like, we're going to be talking about current and upcoming marketing activities. We're going to talk about article ideas that might support the book that we're writing. We might talk about other office issues or duties that we may need to split up. Who's going to do what our goals are, what our dreams are for the future, what our current schedule is. He works night shift. She works an afternoon shift. So who's going to do what, when they're going to do it, and how much time they're able to commit to the project. And that is going to help you in your upcoming meetings, determining what your action plan is going to be for the next few days or few weeks. Now, another thing that you need to do is figure out a way to hold each other accountable and discuss and agree upon what the procedure will be should someone not perform in the way that they were expected to perform, and what business policy are you putting in place in regards to dealing with these issues and any other obstacles that you feel that you may have in the future, any skills that you or your co-writer may have to develop, any courses that may have to be taken, any research that may have to be done. Who is going to do this? When are they going to do it? Okay. Even if you're just putting question marks beside these topics for now, and then doing more research on them in your upcoming meetings. But you got to have these on your discussion table, and you really need their feedback on this. How are they feeling about things? You know, what's going on in their personal lives that may contribute or take away from their current passion for this particular project. What happens if you get partway through a project and one of you wants to pull out? What happens to the project? So you got to talk about these what if scenarios. What if one of you passes away and you're in the middle of the project, or the book is already published? What's the succession plan for that? So you need to talk about these things. Again, even if it's just discussions, initial discussions, and things to talk about and sort of consider for the future. Okay. So you also want to look at describing each other with lists. So you want to say, okay, this is her weaknesses and her strengths. These are his strengths and his weaknesses. How can we balance each other out? How can we help each other out? His interests are in the technical side. Hers are in the interpersonal side. He's really good with in-person events. She's better online. You know, decide where your strengths are and who's going to do what early on in the discussions prior to actually writing the book. Now, in our case, Dave manages the technology aspect of things, anything to do with graphics or images or movies or MP3s or ads or sound, or managing the website, or providing any kind of, again, imagery or graphics for our media contacts, our website, our blogs, our social networking sites, our logo, images, all of that is all his. Now, he also handles the actual tax prep, meaning he enters the information in the book and he deals with the accountant. I, on the other hand, throughout the year, will be gathering all of the stuff that he's going to be putting into the tax accountant project, and I'll be putting it in the specific envelopes for the month, and it will be collaborated in a chronological way, and it will be all recorded and ready for him to enter into the book. So we do that as a partnership, but he's the one who actually puts it in the book and actually deals with the accountant. That's his forte in that regard. He handles any problems with our machines, any upgrades to our computers. He does the final checks, he does the final edits, he does any final rewrites to pretty much everything that we put out. He does the proofs, the layout, the design, the formatting, the cover image design. All of that is his specialty. Now, after after publication, though, we also meet in the middle. So, I'll be making the connections and arranging for the exposure. He provides the images, the ad creation. He maintains the website, that kind of thing. So if something has to be done in person, Dave's going to be the one they see. If something is done online, I'm the one that's often dealing with that. So we have this way of like creating space for the other person to do what needs to be done, and be gracious enough when one of us has personal challenges, and be supportive enough to aid that person when they need it, and expect that we're going to have that same support in return on a daily basis. And knowing though that no one is at their best every day. No one can be at 100% every day. So we have to be able to be flexible with that. We also have to be flexible with unforeseen circumstances, personal, life issues that come up, physical issues that come up that may be interrupting the schedule that we had planned. And so we need to be flexible and understanding and supportive, but at the same time, we have to hold each other accountable, and we need to try to stick to our timeline that we've created. Okay, so another thing that we need to do is to really decide on the priorities. So yes, we have all of these activities. Here's our, a list of everything that we can foresee that could be looked at as a project around this particular book. However, we're going to do it in this time frame. We're going to spread them out. So this will be a 5-year action plan rather than trying to fit it in 1 year. Whatever it takes to make it work for you is the most important thing. So determine that what it is realistic for each of you to do that week. What can you honestly, realistically complete that week? Hold yourself accountable, hold your partner accountable, celebrate things that were accomplished, discuss issues like why wasn't it accomplished, what was holding them back, how can they overcome that issue, if there's skills that need to be developed or technology that needs to be invested in, and that kind of thing. So these are all discussions that we need to have with each other without letting anger or frustration or emotions or disagreement get in there and disrupt the flow of that project. Okay, so hopefully that answered your question, John. I think I could probably do a whole series on this particular topic, and who knows, maybe I will in the future. But John, I hope that answers your question in regards to what it is like to work with a co-writer. Also, another thing I forgot to mention is when you're working with someone in your own home, like for Dave and I as a married couple, we are sharing the same equipment. So while we have, a couple of printers, we have a couple of computers, but each one is more geared and set up for certain activities. So sometimes I have to use his computer, sometimes he's using mine. And so we have to sort of share equipment and gear. Also, each of us might have a different personal schedule. I might be more active, mid-morning to early afternoon. He might be more active mid-afternoon to late evening. So, working with each other's individual energy and schedule and preference of working hours is very helpful too. So try to be supportive of one another, try to be understanding of one another, try not to let your frustrations rule the day. And, just breathe and make a plan, stick to it. That's the best that I can offer right now. Thank you everyone for dropping in to learn about a little bit about what it's like to work with a co-writer. Thanks again, everyone. Until next time.